Einstein as a scientist, as a great, great scientist. But he is not just was simply a born scientist. He was not simply a person who was born as a scientist. He was born as a normal person, as a normal child, as a normal average child. But later on, due to his hard work and due to his nature, he became on getting a very, very successful person. He was an average child. He was a very, very normal person. But how he was and how his attitude was towards life, that mattered the most. And that makes him the greatest scientist of all the times. Today we remember him as the genius which he is. My screen is also visible to you, children. The screen is a truly beautiful mind. The screen is also visible to you. The screen is visible, right? Good. Okay, so here Albert Einstein, he was a great, great scientist and also a great, great person. Why do we call him a great scientist or a great, great genius person? What genius doesn't mean when a person is genius, that doesn't mean that he is good at learning or he's good at knowledge or he's good at his subject. Being a genius, what actually means that how your attitude is towards life, how you deal with the situations in life, and how you decide to live life on your own terms. आप कैसे अपनी लाइफ जीना चाहते हो, आप अपनी कैसे लाइफ जीते हो, और कैसे आप deal करते हो अपने career से, that is the most important thing in life. And that's why Albert Einstein is called as a true genius. He is not simply called a great scientist. He's called a great, great person. He's called a genius person. He's genius not in the terms of knowledge, not just in the terms of knowledge. Knowledge उनके पास है, great knowledge बहुत लोगों के पास है, बहुत ज़्यादा. But how his behavior is, how he is as a personality, that is what makes him more important than others. And that is what makes him genius out of all the people, out of all the scientists in the world. Okay, so what has happened in the chapter up till now? We are talking about the genius people, that who is a genius person. So Albert Einstein was the great, great genius, and how he goes on becoming that genius, that we will learn about. So here we are not studying about Albert Einstein just as a scientist or what he has done or what discoveries he has made. Here we are also learning about him as a great, great scientist, how he was as a person, not just a scientist, how he was as a scientist, not just we are learning about that. We're also learning about his personal life and how he was as a person. Okay, so what happens when he was born? He was born as an average child, as a normal child, and his mother, in fact, she thought that he was a freak. He had this giant big head. Okay, Albert Einstein had a big, big head, and that's why his mother thought he's a freak. ये तो थोड़ा big अजीब सा बच्चा पैदा हुआ है, क्यों? क्योंकि इसका बड़ा सा head है. And when he grew up, when he was about 2.5 years old, he was not able to talk properly. You know, when children are of 2 years or 1.5 years, they start talking. But Albert Einstein, he was not able to talk properly. 2.5 साल के थे तब भी he was not able to talk properly. He used to stutter, हकलाते थे और हर word को दो बार बोलते थे. So in simple terms, he was not able to talk properly. He was not a great orator at that time when he was a child. Also, he did not know how to play with children. As he was not able to talk clearly, he was not able to play with his playmates or with the children others nearby him. So since he was not able to play, since he was not able to talk to people, he was not able to talk to the children around him, the children used to call him brother boring. Okay, how children used to tell that he was a brother boring. He's a boring person, the children used to say. ठीक है, कि क्योंकि ये इसको खेलना नहीं आता, इसको बोलना नहीं आता, he's a boring person. They tell the playmates, they call them as a boring person. Also, when he goes into school, his headmaster tells his father that your son will be never successful. So no matter how much you work hard, no matter what subject you choose, your child is never going to be a successful person. So his headmaster, his principal himself told his father कि आप कुछ भी कर लो आपका बेटा सक्सेसफुल नहीं होगा. आइंस्टाइन को ये बात बोली गई है. तब वो आइंस्टाइन नहीं थे. He was a normal person. He was an average person. And see, इतना सारा नेगेटिविटी होने के बाद भी कि मदर उनको बोल रही कि he is a freak, ये तो पागल बच्चा है. And master is telling that he is a he is going to be unsuccessful. He is not going to be successful at all. And his playmates are calling him boring, brother boring. उसके जो साथ के friends है वो उसको boring बुला रहे हैं. Instead of so many negativities in his life, despite his mother calling him freak, despite the playmates calling him boring, or despite the headmaster calling him an unsuccessful person, despite such negativities in his life, he has become the Albert Einstein who we know of. इतनी सारी नेगेटिविटीज के बाद भी वो ग्रेट साइंटिस्ट बने जिनके बारे में हम जानते हैं, एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन, द ट्रू जीनियस. So later on he goes to school in Munich, and when he goes to school in Munich, he does not like the schools there. So why is he not liking the schools there? Why Albert Einstein is not liking the schools in Munich? Can anybody tell me the answer for that? That why is Albert Einstein not liking the school? Leave the school. He decides that मैं school छोड़ दूंगा कि मुझे ये सब rules, regulations और too much of discipline बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आ रहा. So he decides to leave the school. So do you think you will be allowed to leave school if you don't like the school? No, right? But it was his personality. It was him that he decided कि मुझे तो school छोड़ना ही है, and he left the school. So can you think of a great scientist कि इन्होंने school छोड़ा होगा 15 साल की age में? नहीं ना. अब हमें लगता है he must be a great learner, he must be a great student, but he left his school at 15. But yeah, true that he was a great pupil, he was a great student, and he was good in maths and physics. He was always interested in mechanical tools, mechanical toys, and he was always interested in maths and physics. They were his favorite subjects. So he used to score good in classes, he used to score in subjects, but what he did not like was the extreme rules, regulations, and the discipline of the school. So he wanted some more liberal school. Liberal means what? One who allows you to do whatever you want to do. Liberal, कोई भी चीज liberal होती है, इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि आपकी जो इच्छा हो वो आपको करने दे. Liberal parents means parents who allow you to do whatever you want to. Liberal school means some school which allows you to do whatever you want to. So liberal means what? जो आपको आपके मन का करने दे, that is called as a liberal thing. Liberal parents, liberal school, liberal society, liberal government. Anything can be liberal. So Albert Einstein was looking for a school which was liberal. Okay. So he find such school in Zurich. Okay. So he leaves the school here, and then he joins this university in Zurich. Okay. He joins this university in Zurich, and there he's very much interested in what? In maths and physics. They are his favorite subjects. And now, despite that, something else is also interesting. So let's see what other thing which has interested him. Okay, so I had given you this assignment earlier. Yeah, so it was Albert Einstein childhood, as we have discussed how he was and how was his childhood. So children, just don't expect that questions in your exams will be coming from the exercise part only. Okay, so just be prepared, and you have to go thoroughly throughout the chapter. Okay, so you have to get through the chapter. It's not just about the exercise part. You're grown-ups. Okay, you're not the students from second, third, fourth class that you will be getting these questions from exercise only. You will be getting questions in your exams from the middle of the chapter. So just be prepared for that, and just read the chapters thoroughly. Read the chapters twice, thrice, and if you have any doubts, just ask me. But just don't expect that सारे questions जो हैं आपके exercise part में से ही आएंगे. No, not at all. आपके questions आपके chapter के बीच में से भी आ सकते हैं. Chapter clear होना चाहिए exercise के साथ-साथ. Okay, so we know about Albert Einstein's childhood. Then how was his childhood? His mother thought he was a freak. His playmates thought he was how was he? he was a rather boring. He was a boring person as he was not able to talk properly. He was not able to play with them. And in school, he used to like mechanical toys. Like that, you can build up your answer. Okay. Okay, so let's move towards the chapter. If the text of the chapter is not clearly visible to you, you can take out your books. Okay. And everyone just turn on your cameras. Okay. Everyone just turn on your cameras. So let's move towards the chapter. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Merrick. Okay, so he was interested in maths, he was interested in physics, but there was some more thing which was of his interest, and that was this new girl, a fellow student, Mileva Merrick. Okay, so Albert Einstein liked her, Mileva Merrick, whom he found to be a clever creature. And how he referred her as, how Albert Einstein referred Mileva as, he thought that she was a very clever person. She was a very clever creature. He called him clever creature. He was intelligent, I guess. Now, this young Serb, just a second, where is it? Yeah. So, this young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. So now this young girl, Mileva Merrick, she had come to Switzerland in University of Zurich. So Albert Einstein was also studying in University of Zurich, and Mileva was also studying in University of Zurich. So जो मिलेवा है वो यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ज्यूरिक में क्यों पढ़ रही है बिकॉज यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ज्यूरिक उस टाइम में बहुत कम यूनिवर्सिटीज थी जो विमेन को डिग्रीज देती थी एंड यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ज्यूरिक वाज वन ऑफ देम ओके सो दैट्स व्हाई मिलेवा वाज स्टडीइंग इन यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ज्यूरिक इस टाइम बहुत सारे लोगों को बहुत सारी विमेन को डिग्रीज नहीं मिलती थी and University of Zurich was giving degrees to women and that's why Mileva was studying in this university. Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines. Okay, so what is an ally? Ally means a friend, okay? When you called a playmate or a friend or a fellow, so ally is also a word for a friend. You can call your friends ally, okay? You can call your friends as ally. Ally मतलब कोई भी दोस्त होना, कोई भी fellow होना, आपके साथ का कोई भी होना, okay? So ally means friends and Philistines. What is a Philistine? So Philistine is the person जो जिसको सिर्फ पढ़ने में इंटरेस्ट हो और जिसको कोई भी आर्ट्स में या दूसरी चीजों में लिटरेचर में किसी भी क्रिएटिविटी में इंटरेस्ट ना हो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फिलिस्टीन्स जो बोलते हैं पढ़ो 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 और बाकी चीजें नहीं भाड़ में those are called as Philistines. So this is a word which is used for such people who do not like arts or who do not like literature or who do not like any kind of creativity who are just interested in pure knowledge. Okay, so Einstein को ऐसे लोग बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद थे. Such Philistines he did not like. So Einstein को मिलेवा क्यों पसंद आई क्योंकि she was also against such Philistines. So Mileva was also against Philistines and Einstein was also against Philistines. And who were Philistines in Albert Einstein's life? Albert Einstein की life में Philistines कौन थे? It was those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. So जो उसकी university में जो लोग थे और it was his family, they were referred to as Philistines by Einstein. क्यों? क्योंकि they did not like Albert Einstein to be in literature, to or arts, or to do any kind of creativity. They just wanted him to study, and study. So Albert Einstein refers his university people and his family as Philistines. So Albert Einstein और मिलेवा बन गए दोस्त क्यों? क्योंकि ये लोग फिलिस्टीन्स के अगेंस्ट थे. ये जो ऐसे लोग जो थे फिलिस्टीन्स इनके अगेंस्ट थे. And Albert Einstein was constantly at odds. To be constantly at odds means what? हमेशा नोक झोंक होना किसी से, हमेशा किसी से अलग होना. So that is called at constantly at odds. So his views, Albert Einstein's views, and the views of the university people, they were very different. Okay, so university people were more interested in just learning, and Albert Einstein was more interested in discovering new things and discovering and being creative. Okay, so that's why their ideas, their views were always at odds. Their ideas or their views, they did not match. Okay, So the couple fell in love. So now what happens? The couple is who here? Albert Einstein and Mileva, they fall in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing signs with tenderness. And how do we know that they fell in love? Because there's an evidence of letters. There are some love letters in which they have expressed their loves, expressed their love, and they have put affection into words. उसके अंदर उन्होंने अपना love लिखा है, उनके अंदर signs और उन्होंने love को mix किया है कि how do they like each other, mixing signs with tenderness. So this is a line from Albert Einstein's letter. Wrote Einstein ने क्या लिखा? How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. कि मैं कितना खुश होगा? How happy I will be, how happy and proud I will be. मैं कितना खुश और proud होगा जब हम दोनों relativity के लिए हम जो काम कर रहे हैं, it will reach to a victorious conclusion. जब हम जो relativity पे हम जो discovery कर रहे हैं, it's theory of relativity, children. It is a very, very popular scientist discovery. It is a very, very great discovery by Albert Einstein. So he was working towards theory of relativity in his university with Mileva. Okay, so Albert Einstein says here that मैं कितना खुश और proud होऊंगा जब हमारी theory of relativity को एक conclusion मिल जाएगा, एक victorious conclusion मिल जाएगा. So victorious conclusion मिलना means जब हमारा theory of relativity की discovery है, जब ये जीत की तरफ पहुंचेगी, जब ये victory की तरफ पहुंचेगी. Okay. In 1900, at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. So अब 1900 और आगे time बढ़ा. He was 21. Albert Einstein was 21. And he was a university graduate. He graduated from university. उनका काम university से complete हो गया. And he was unemployed. He was not having a job. He worked as a teaching assistant. फिर उन्होंने as a teaching assistant work किया. Assistant teachers जो होते हैं ऐसे काम किया उन्होंने. Gave private lessons. Private lessons means tuitions देना. Tuitions are also called as private lessons. So Albert Einstein gave private lessons and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. Okay, so earlier he worked as an assistant teacher. He also gave private lessons, private tuitions, and finally he got a job as technical expert. Okay, in an office in Bern. Okay, पहले उन्होंने assistant teacher की तरह काम किया, tuitions दिए, and then he got a job as a technical expert. While he was supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. अब जो टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट का जो उनको जॉब मिला, इसका काम क्या था कि अगर कोई लोग अपनी जो नए नए डिस्कवरीज लेके आ रहे हैं, he was asked to assess that. उसको उनको जज करना था कि डिस्कवरी कैसी है, ठीक है या नहीं है, गलत है, अच्छी है, सही है. He was asked to judge that. But वो दूसरों की डिस्कवरीज तो जज कर ही रहे थे, दूसरों की डिस्कवरीज तो असेस कर ही रहे थे, but along with that, what was he doing? He was developing his own discoveries in secret. अपनी खुद की डिस्कवरीज भी वो in secretly सारी डिस्कवरीज अपनी कर रहे थे, अपनी डिस्कवरीज पे काम कर रहे थे. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at the work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. अब वो सारा काम जो है, सारी डिस्कवरीज जो है, इसके ऊपर उन्होंने काम कहाँ किया है? इस जो अब ये एज अ टेक्निकल एक्सपर्ट काम कर रहे थे, वहीं पे उन्होंने काम किया है. और उन्होंने जो अपना डेस्क ड्रॉर था, जो डेस्क जो ड्रॉर होता है, जो ड्रॉर को क्या हिंदी बोलते हैं, जो ड्रॉर होता है, व्हाट हैज ही कॉल्ड इट? द ब्यूरो ऑफ थियोरेटिकल फिजिक्स. मेरी सारी की सारी जो फिजिक्स है, सारी जो फिजिक्स की थियरीज है मेरी, अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन की, वो सारी इस ड्रॉर के अंदर ही है. Why has he said that? Why has he called this desk drawer the Bureau of Theoretical Physics? Why has he called this? Because all his discoveries were made at this office only, and all his discoveries were made as a technical expert while working in as people's office as technical expert in Bern. Okay. One of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity. अब एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन का बहुत सबसे फेमस वर्क क्या है? It's Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, and it was published in 1905. So जब भी आप कोई साइंटिस्ट डिस्कवरी करता है, कोई भी नई चीज जो डिस्कवर करता है, तो दे आर पब्लिश्ड इन पेपर्स. ओके, पेपर्स में पब्लिश होना मतलब क्या होना, आपका काम पूरी दुनिया को पता चला है, आपने अपना पेपर पब्लिश किया है. सो ये जो सारी डिस्कवरी थी ये 1905 के अंदर पब्लिश हुई, एंड इसका नाम क्या था, स्पेशल थ्योरी ऑफ रिलेटिविटी, अकॉर्डिंग टू विच टाइम एंड डिस्टेंस आर नॉट एब्सोल्यूट. और इतना तो हम रिलेटिविटी थ्योरी के बारे में नहीं जानते हैं, वी आर नॉट साइंटिस्ट, राइट, बट वी नो अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट इट. एंड व्हाट डज इट से, the relativity of theory says that time और distance जो है वो absolute नहीं है. Okay, time और distance absolute नहीं है, मतलब वो fixed नहीं है. Time fixed नहीं है, distance fixed नहीं है. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. So how do we get this theory of relativity in our simple words? कि time और distance absolute नहीं है. In fact क्या होगा, जो दो बिल्कुल ठीक ठीक clocks हैं, बिल्कुल सही काम करने वाली clocks हैं, घड़ी हैं, they will not continue to show the same time. वो कुछ टाइम बाद सेम टाइम नहीं शो करेंगी. उसके सेल डाउन हो गए इसलिए नहीं. There's another reason behind this, that there is the reason of the theory of relativity behind that. कि जो two clocks which are showing perfectly accurate time, after some time it will not show the same time if they come together after a journey, and if one of them has been moving very fast relative to other. दो क्लॉक्स अभी सेम टाइम शो कर रहे हैं, बट एक क्लॉक अगर थोड़ा टाइम उसका टाइम जल्दी चल रहा होगा, then it will not be showing the same time. So theory of relativity is a bit difficult for us to understand. It is a discovery and it is the theory of Albert Einstein. We cannot simply understand that. But for us poor people, he has put it simply into words that the time and distance, they are not absolute. ये fixed नहीं है, ये change होते रहते हैं. From this followed the world's most important formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. Okay, so यहाँ से हमको क्या मिला है, यहाँ से अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन ने क्या दिया है, theory of relativity से ही, कि दुनिया का सबसे important formula. Now there are so many formulae in the world, right? You know there are so many formulas, but to call one formula the most important formula of all, that is a big thing. अगर आपके किसी formula को किसी ने कहा है very very important, so that is a huge thing, right? So this formula E is equals to mc square, that is called as the most important formula in the world, and it deals with what? It deals with energy and mass relationship. From this followed the world's most important formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. और ये किसके बीच में relationship बताता है? Energy और mass के बीच में. So E here is energy and m here is mass. Okay, and c here is speed of light. So this is the formula which gives the relationship between energy and mass. So बहुत सारी साइंस हो गई यहाँ पे, इतनी हमें समझ में नहीं आ रही है, but this is the formula which Albert Einstein discovered. And भले आपको साइंस पसंद हो या ना हो, but this is a question of general knowledge, very general knowledge, कि अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन ने क्या डिस्कवर किया, थियरी ऑफ रिलेटिविटी डिस्कवर की, एंड थियरी ऑफ रिलेटिविटी से उन्होंने कौन सा फॉर्मूला निकाला, E is equals to mc square, which was very important. So अब लोकल लैंग्वेज में थियरी ऑफ रिलेटिविटी को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए व्हाट डज ही से, अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन क्या कहते हैं, when you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours it seems like 2 minutes. जब आप किसी सुंदर अच्छी लड़की के साथ बैठो तो ऐसा लगता है 2 मिनट निकले हैं. आप किसी सुंदर अच्छी लड़की के साथ आप 2 घंटे बैठोगे तो आपको लगेगा 2 मिनट निकले हैं. बट व्हेन यू सिट ऑन अ हॉट स्टोव, और आप गरम तवे पे अगर आप 2 मिनट भी बैठ जाओ तो ऐसा लगता है 2 घंटे निकले हैं. So that's relativity. So he explains that in a very funny manner, but that is his way of explaining relativity for us people. कि आप किसी अच्छी लड़की के साथ 2 मिनट बैठो तो ऐसा लगता है, सॉरी, आप किसी अच्छी लड़की के साथ 2 घंटे बैठो तो ऐसा लगता है 2 मिनट निकले हैं. But when you sit on a hot stove, it feels that 2 hours have passed. So that is the theory of relativity for general people, for us. Okay, children, so that's all for today's lecture. I request all of you to submit your assignments which I have given. In the first assignment, you had to describe the Einstein's childhood. And this today's assignment, I request all of you to complete Albert Einstein's relationship with Mileva Maric. So today's assignment is what? You have to describe Albert Einstein's relationship with Mileva Maric. So who will answer this question? I want the answer from you people only. I've already explained and I now want the answer from you people. So just tell me the answer for this question, the Albert Einstein's relationship with Mileva Maric. And if you have any doubts, any doubts, you can just ask me and raise your hands. Yeah, children, up to you.